Hey everyone, it's Desiree, and I'm here again for Spellbinders, showing a stamp set from Fun Stamper's Journey, and it is called Summer Rose. To me, this is a very unique stamp set because it is a layering stamp set. Now, that's not what makes it unique for me. What makes it unique is it is a red rubber layering stamp set. So I just found that challenging. I had made a previous video regarding layering stamp sets, gave you some tips and tricks on how I get through layered stamp sets. And for this one, I'll have some too, but I found these to be easier. Very forgiving. This may look very detailed, but you'll see what I mean as we make our card today. So I pulled out some acrylic blocks. That is what I'm going to use. I'm not going to use a stamp positioner. I'm going to use the acrylic blocks, and I set up my pieces on them. Now I'm using Ruby Red, Grapevine, Coral Berry, and Frosty Pink from Altenew. But I'm going to use them 2 and 2 because those are the layers. You just have 2 layers. So the Frosty Pink is going to be with the Grapevine, and then the Coral Berry is going to be matched with the Ruby Red. So I am stamping the first layer, the solid layer. So you want to make sure that you've got good coverage. Now what's nice with the Altenew ink, it will layer itself out, it will flatten out, but even if it didn't, that's okay. You know, I'm okay with those spots, with those areas that maybe are lighter than others, especially when it comes to this design. Again, it could be a different look that you're looking for. So now that I have my first layer stamped, I'm now going to come in with the second layer. So what each of these rose flowers have is you have that first layer that's solid, and then you have 2 second layers. It's not, you could make it a third layer if you want. Again, you can do anything that you would like. So I've gone into my darker color. The second layer gives you all of the lines. Now, how do you match this up? The red rubber on the second layer pretty much matches the shape of the first layer. And that's what you're doing. You're just putting that right down in there. Is it okay if you miss those areas? Absolutely. And what I mean by that is, if these overlap, if you're not perfect in those openings, you can't tell. They're very unnoticeable because of the way the stamp was perfectly designed. You've got these. Your second layer is the shaded area. So it's almost like a stamp that you would get that would already have these details in it. They've separated that. So you can give it a different look. That's what is unique and beautiful about this stamp set. So you can see the layers, while they're not covering, the second layer's not covering the entire shaded area, you can just tell how it's going to fit in. To fit in this space. And then the center part, you can just manipulate. Now you can actually turn this and have it, you know, a little bit more to the left, a little bit more to the right as well. And even though you're going over those lines, it's just creating a darker shadow. So as you get closer to the bud of the rose, it would get darker. So was very much enjoying this. Took the I found them to be not as challenging with other layered stamp sets. It also does come with leaves. It comes with the 1 leaf, and there are 3 layers. So for these 3 stamps, I'm using Evergreen, Forest Glades, and Fray Leaf from Altenew. So I used the lightest color for my solid. For the outer rim, I used the medium color. And then for the vines, or excuse me, the veins of the leaves, I'm using the darkest, which is Evergreen. And again, they're not perfect. which these stamps also would be great if you watercolor stamp, you know, where you put your ink onto the stamp, use a little bit of water, just spray a little bit and then stamp it down. You're going to get this beautiful watercolor effect. If you do that, make sure each layer is dry before you stamp, or else it's just going to bleed together, unless you like that look. So these are my pieces. I did fussy cut them out. I do have a white border left around them, and I was just playing with some settings, how I would put them together. I pulled out a piece of ivory and black cardstock that's already cut down to 4 1/8, 5 3/8, and 4 1/4 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to use 2 embossing folders from Fun Stamper's Journey. One is called Inspire, and then the other one is these horizontal lines. I'll have everything linked down below. I love the impressions that I have for those lines. They're very faint, but yet you can still see them. Now, of course, when it comes to the Word or the Inspire embossing folder, I just love the font. And of course, you knew the vintage photo was going to come in. So I'm using one of my brushes just to get some color on top of this. Some areas are going to be darker, some are going to be lighter. I want this to have a distressed look. Once I get that ink on with the brush, I'm then going to come in with some water and just add some droplets, let it move around. I wiped away the first layer, came in with second to have larger drops, and now I'm just going to use my heat gun to dry that, because I do want those spots to give that worn look. Once that's dry, we will start layering our card together. So I'm going to also use the vintage photo around each of the images that I stamped. I do want this to have a very vintage photo, or yeah, a very vintage look. Therefore, that's why I'm pulling in the vintage photo. Now, when it comes to the lighter shade of pink that I used with the rose, it does blend into that ink a little bit more. That pink, that frosty pink, is a beautifully pale color. So I've got 2 different styles of roses there. I'm going to use my tape runner to set my black panel upon my standard A2 size card base, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and this is a top folding card base. Once that's set in place, I'm now going to look at this panel and I'm going to tear it. I think that's the beauty of paper. We can do that. And I think it adds a different look when we do that. I'm going to use my double-sided foam tape so that the Inspire panel, the part that I tore, can be propped up off of excuse me, of the black cardstock. I did use the vintage photo going around, and then I also distressed, even though they were torn edges, I did distress that a little bit more as well, just to get some more jagged edges and tears into that section. It's going to be offset just a little bit from the black cardstock, and I'm sorry, that black was cut 4 by 5 1/4, and so was the ivory, the ivory piece of paper. I am so sorry here, got something in my throat. Once they're set, I'm going to now play around with the roses. Now, this took me forever. I'll be honest, wasn't quite sure if I wanted them to droop down throughout the card, or if I wanted them to stay into this opening that I have in the paper, and that is what I went with. So I wanted the darker ones just to look like that they're coming out from this opening, but I wanted the light rose to be on the forefront so that it would tone down. I didn't want, I mean, the darker red or pink roses are beautiful, but I didn't want all of that bright color to come through. So now I'm just going to have fun and place the leaves, tear off pieces that I have there, and then just set them in place as well, just to add that little bit of texture. So I'm not worried about these laying completely flat. I'm okay with them curling up, because again, it does add to the texture and dimension of your card when you do that. I'm also going to cut some of the leaves apart so that I could just have some single leaves placed around. So again, the stamp set's versatile, where you can, you know, separate those and get different looks from the leaves as you're placing them around the roses. And you can see we've built that up, so you can still see that bright pink, but it's kind of like in the background of it. I did choose this Sentiment with Sympathy, and this is from their Inside and Out stamp set, which is great because you get the outside sentiment, so either happy birthday or congratulations, and then you also have a sentiment that would be perfect for the inside of your card as well. I'm going to trim this down. Just going to use a piece of Post-it so that I can hold this, because I can't hold them straight. It's horrible. I fight with it all the time. I'm going to use my scissors to distress the edge of my cardstock, and I did use my fine detail white alabaster embossing powder for my sentiment. I'm just going to use my tape runner and set that in place, and I do want the rose to come up over the sentiment just a little bit. And with that black strip, it does look like as if that bottom part is almost separated as well, because I did take that to the edge of the black panel. I'm going to add some ivory gems from Pretty Pink Posh, and just a few of them around my corner, just to add a little bit of sparkle, but not too much. So no glitter pen for this one. And that is our card. So I do hope you enjoyed today's project using products from Fun Stamper's Journey with Spellbinders. And as always, here is the close-ups of the project that we did make. All of the items that I used to make this will be linked down below in the video description. If you have any questions or comments, leave those down below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I want to thank you so much for stopping by and watching today's video. If you haven't already, I would love for you to subscribe. Make sure you ring the bell so that you can make sure you don't miss the next video. I hope everyone's having a great day. Remember, take care, and always remember what's most important. Always be creative.